Hello everyone and welcome back to Arctic Retro. So in this video I thought it was on time to do some Amiga stuff, and I got this one, and yeah, let's see if we can do some restoration work on this machine. I don't really know the state of this machine. Last time I powered it on, it did in fact power on, but that's all I know. Yes, and it's an Amiga 600 from Commodore, obviously, and yeah, the box looks really fun. The Wild, the Weird and the Wicked, world's best-selling 16-bit home computer. Yeah, box is a little bit rough condition, but yeah, still nice to have a box. Yeah, and here's a lot of details. Pushover looks like a platform game. I haven't heard about it. Some quick connect guide. Putty looks like some other platform game. And then you have a Grand Prix, which obviously is Formula 1. There's a Formula 1 car. Deluxe Paint 3. Unfortunately, the box and the contents of it is not complete. But it has some interesting stuff. Yeah, it has, of course, the machine itself. I only tested it briefly once. I wrote a note here. It's missing a floppy, and the mouse is performing badly. Yeah, there's a mouse. Doesn't look like an original Commodore. Take a look. Yeah, it's a Commodore. And we have something here, Zappo Smart Store Plus. We have the manuals. Oh, this is a thick one using the Amiga Workbench. Maybe I should read through it. And you have the Amiga Basic. That's cool to have. It's missing a power supply. Yeah, there's a bracket for the hard drive. It doesn't have a hard drive. Yeah, missing the power supply. So that's what we have. But now let's concentrate on the machine itself. Let's power it on and see how it works. This video is sponsored by PCBWay, and I just want to thank them for a great cooperation and for their support. They make prototype PCBs of very good quality, and they also do 3D printing, and they actually helped me with printing this case for this beautiful 1581 floppy disk drive replica. And they also produced and provided me with this PCB for the 1581 floppy disk drive. Even if you don't design the PCBs yourself, you can visit PCBWay's shared project site, and here you can find a lot of ready-made designs which you can just order directly from their website. So here we have the machine. It looks very nice, very clean. Looks like it has been cleaned up. Now this Zappo Smart Store Plus, I have no idea what it is, but it is a PCI CMA slot here. And it goes into there, but yeah, it's probably for a hard disk, but I need to check out what it actually is and how to use it. Missing the power supply, but let's use my home-built Amiga power supply, which I built from a modern Meanwell power supply. Alright, let's turn it on then. It's on, but just a black screen. Oh no, wait, I see some blue flashing lights in the machine. Yeah, I now remember. I'm not really sure if it was I or if it came with this compact flash memory card hard drive. I said the note said that the mouse was not good, but this seems to work fine. Maybe it was the button. Yeah, the button. Right button works, but left button Oh, so that needs to be fixed. Okay, so I need to replace the micro switch on this mouse. Let's do that right away. I need a mouse to use this machine anyway, and after that we'll take a look at the machine, what I'm interested in. Does it need some recapping? I recently saw a video from the Retro channel on YouTube, and he was fixing several Amiga mice, and yeah, his problem was that the light receivers in the mouse wasn't working properly and didn't give the proper signals, the levels, so he actually needed to replace some resistors. Yeah, so there's the two buttons. Yeah, let me remove the whole assembly here, and can see the rollers, they're quite dirty, so I just need to clean up this mouse as well. Yeah, I found a couple of those buttons. I think they're the same. I just use some little bit of IPA here and yeah, try to clean the sensors and those rollers on the other side. These are just the sensors. There's a wheel with a lot of holes, and that rolls through this box here, and these sensors detect the light coming on and off. So that's how it works, and that produces a signal that this chip here compares and amplifies, and that's what's sent to the computer as pulses. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. This wheel has a lot of holes in it. So just cleaning the roller wheels. Sometimes they can be a little bit corroded, so you won't get them shiny in the middle where they have rolled. Now let's replace the switches. I'm replacing both, even if one of them was working. Yeah, I'm just being a little lazy here. I use my desoldering station. There's a couple of alternative holes here. I guess that's for using other types of switches. I just sucked away that too, but yeah, that's one, that's two, and then we need to insert it the same orientation. Yeah, that feels good, clicks very nicely. Clean off the flux. Assembling is just as easy as taking it apart. It's just the top part goes into it and squeeze it down. Yes, it's... Oh, it's not clicking. Yeah, it's clicking, but it seems to be stuck. So it seems I didn't manage to get it correctly installed. Just use a little silicone spray here. No, that didn't help. I think it's simply the button is too weak to spring back. Yeah, I'm just gonna replace the button with another one. Maybe that's better. Maybe try to not push it as hard down to the PCB so it's a little bit raised. Yeah, I think that works better. Yeah, okay. Yes. And this has 2 megabyte of graphics mem, and it actually has 6.7 other mem, and that means it has an 8 megabyte memory expansion. I don't remember if this came with only 2 megabyte or it was just 1, but Smarty and the nasty gluttons. Yeah, so it's some kind of platformer. And a key appeared. Now it's time to take a look inside the machine and see what the state is. Does it need recapping? I'm not sure if it's been recapped before, but if we see any nasty leaks, then I definitely will recap it. Yeah, there you have it. Yes, looks alright. Yeah, I think I installed this. And this is the memory expansion. Judging by the old, the big electrolyte capacitors, this looks like the original, I think, like this old bluish color. But how about the small SMD caps here? Need to study them closer. Yes, I don't think this has been recapped, and one of the things I see is it's full of dust there, so if this has been recapped recently, then this would have been cleaned up, I guess. Looks a little bit grayish, the pad there, so this definitely needs a good cleaning. So I'm gonna take out the motherboard and clean it up a bit, and then I'm gonna replace the caps, because these caps on these machines are well known to be leaky after some years. It's a little bit tricky to get this out of the case because it's jammed in between here, and the joystick ports are kind of stuck there, so you need to bend the plastic out. Yeah, but it's out. We need to remove the metal shielding. Yeah, there's a screw here as well. Okay, that's it. Yeah, the shielding looks alright, no corrosion or anything. Backside looks perfect. Yes, and the old caps, you can definitely see they're original because the solder on those pins looks perfect, exactly like the other solder joints. Yeah, there's the Kickstart ROM 314. But what's this? This is new to me. A608 Mini by RG Chait, manufactured by Architech 2019, engineered in Poland. It says here PCMCIA, but what is it? It has a FPGA chip there. It doesn't replace the CPU. I can see it through the holes. The CPU is under there, but it's on top of the CPU. Yeah, I looked it up. This is actually memory expansion. It contains 8 megabyte of fast RAM, and it also supports PCMCIA. It says here that it allows the use of PCMCIA modules that doesn't work in the 8 megabyte mode. Have no idea about that. But what's the other memory card then? Then this must be... Yeah, it says here, it says Amiga 601 megabyte RAM plus real-time clock. That's enough talk, I think. Quite dirty. Just gonna clean it up real well, and then I'll start with the recapping. You see how much dirt it collects just to swipe it over a couple of places. Yes, the motherboard is ready for recapping. I've cleaned it off and it looks shiny and nice now. Also cleaned all the contacts with some contact cleaner. I got this capacitor pack here, A600 from Amiga kit. I just made my own notes. I drew some notes here where the different capacitors are and where the polarity goes. But I think everything is perfectly marked on the motherboard. I'm gonna remove the big ones first, so that they're not in the way when I remove the smaller ones. Now this motherboard on the Amiga 600 can be a little bit tricky to recap because yeah, all these caps here are in a big cluster They're very close to the modulator, they're very close to this filter here, and the two worst one is these two, and they're particularly difficult because they're right next to the plastic keyboard connector. And the last time I recapped an Amiga 600, I ran into trouble. I had to desolder this contact, and that was not easy, and I ripped a few traces and I had to repair that, so that became a mess. So I'll make sure this time I'm not gonna do that. I hope. Yeah, this time I'm gonna use my hot air gun just to heat up the board itself a little bit before I desolder. So I set it to around 400 and yeah, just heat a little bit from a distance. So we have two caps here and one there. If you heat too much, you can risk that you get an uneven heat on the board in such a grade that it actually starts warping, and we don't want that. So now it's quite warm and I can feel it through to the other side. A little bit extra solder on the solder points. This is leaded solder. It should mix with the original solder and hopefully make it a little bit easier. That seems to be blocked. My desoldering gun can't get it through. Yeah, I just crank up the heat and see if it melts eventually. Yeah, always something, isn't it? I cannot get this unclogged. Seems like it's right up around here. Oh no, I have it on. Okay, I have it on full blast, 480 degrees. So something must have come in there that doesn't melt, so I just need to restart the whole thing again. So while I wait for that, I can still remove some of the small components over here easily. Just a little bit of flux, make it easier. And I have found that the easiest way to remove SMD capacitors, yeah, and even other types of components is to use two soldering irons with small tips, and there are several methods. You can obviously use hot air, and that can do it quickly, but then you risk melting and moving some of the components around, or you can just use pliers and yeah, just twist it off. I've seen that done, but I don't dare to do that, so I use this technique then and just use two soldering irons. Easier said than done. This indicates that there might have been some leakage. It was hard to melt the solder on that one. So you solder both sides and then you just feel until it's loose. Yeah, that was loose, but I lost it. Yes, yeah, that solder point there is definitely gray. I think this has some leak. And it's hard to desolder. Yeah, smells fishy. Definitely leaking. Not easy to remove. Yeah, those are loose then. By the way, this little guy, I bought it on AliExpress, I think. It costs almost nothing. Uses a regular micro USB 5 volts. Then I want to clean up the pads, and for this just use a little bit of solder braid. not too much heat, because you can delaminate the pads and they become loose. Now they're shiny and free of the old solder. Then I add a tiny little bit of flux and then add some fresh solder, not too much, just a thin layer. Okay, and now we're ready to solder in the new caps. That was 22 and 10. So the black side of these capacitors are the negative side. The board is marked with a plus on the positive side, so this goes that way. However, I have my own note, so I can obviously double check that, and yeah, that seems to be correct. So now I just need to solder in. Position the caps right on top of the pads, then try to melt the solder. Yes, the cap quickly gets hot, so you definitely can burn yourself. You feel if it's stuck or not. This is stuck. It doesn't move. Still, I want to add a tiny amount of solder, because I feel, at least on this side, there was a little too little. Okay, now I touched that resistor, which I don't want to do. Yeah, that's a little bit, I think. Yeah, that's it. Now the next one, same drill. Yeah, melt the solder, it falls down. Yeah, just melt the solder and push it down. Oh, it gets hot. Yeah, and it's stuck there. Just try to tilt it back, but it doesn't move, so that's good. If you're able to use tweezers, then maybe that's better, but I'm not. I'm too shaky for that, unfortunately. Yeah, that went smooth with the 4 first, the easy ones. And these are the worst. I'll wait with them until last. I'm like that. I do the hardest tasks last. Okay, let's see if I can unclog that damn desoldering station and see if we can get these out. Yeah, that's unclogged now. Let's do it again. Yes, that went pretty smooth. I think I cleared all the solder in the first try. Now the third electrolyte. This is a little bit more tricky. It's right between those rows of capacitors and resistors. Yeah, there isn't much to show you here. I'm gonna desolder these using 2 soldering irons as before, and that's gonna be alright, I think. A little bit close to this one, but yeah, I think I can squeeze in between there. That smells fishy, and it won't come loose on that side. I'll loosen it up with some flux, and if you try to heat too much and it won't come loose, then you risk damaging the pad. Yeah, I got it out eventually. Oh no, I ripped the pad. That's what you're not supposed to do. Yeah, as I said, that's too easy to lift pads on this board. And that capacitor, it wouldn't let go. And that happens if the solder points are corroded. I mean, if there's leakage, the electrolyte has come out and the solder is changed, so it's near impossible to desolder it. Not good, but I think I can save this. I didn't rip it off, it's just loose. So I'll fix that trace after I remove these. Come on. It smells so bad when you have electrolyte that has leaked, and also plastic melting. Now I clean up this area very good. I already did one pass, but this didn't go as planned. One of the capacitors I thought were the easy one to remove was this, and you see both the pads got lifted, and that's probably because I struggled to melt the solder and it was too much heat. And the trace goes there, and need to fix that. Now for the most difficult part, these two guys here, and they're very close to the contacts here and this one, and very tight in between. And I'm pretty sure that the chance of failure is quite high on these, for me at least. So what I'm gonna do now is to heat up the area a little bit, not so much that the plastic starts to warp or melt. Then I add some flux. Maybe I should have done this first, but yeah, still I'm gonna add a little bit of Kapton tape there. If I'm unlucky and hit the contact with the solder iron. Let me see now. It won't come loose. Yeah, it's loose. Nice. So this is not easy at all. Yeah, that came really nicely out. Alright, so now all the caps are removed. I'm not really sure if this Kapton tape is the real deal. I mean, it seems to melt awfully easily. Yeah, I made a little melt damage to the contact, but nothing to worry about. It's just on the outside of the plastic. I don't think these were leaked because that went pretty smooth, easy to solder, didn't smell. This is the PCB Explorer. You find it on amigapcb.org, and this is the layout of the Amiga 600 board, and that's the capacitor that got the pads lifted, and as you can see, both of those goes to a via, so that can be fixed by soldering a little wire or something from that via and that via over there. I don't want the cap to be hanging in loose air, so I need to glue on something that holds it down. And for that I'm going to try and use this. This is copper and it has glue on one side, and yeah, you see the sizes here are almost like the pads that are missing. It's a little bit fiddly to cut it out of this sheet. I just try and place one pad on each. And the trace from this side is already there, and this one too, it goes over there, and then might try to bridge that with solder. Yeah, so this turned into a little bit of repair as well. I cut out two of those. Not exactly easy to handle such small things, but it stays there. I don't know how well these sticks. There's glue under, but obviously I cleaned off the surface very well with alcohol. I mean, this will work, but for production quality this is obviously not good enough. Does it sit there? Yeah, seems to be good. And now this trace that goes there, it's just over that pad. and this trace that comes from that little via there. I see if I just solder there and it might connect. If not, I'm gonna just put a little wire there. So I'm repairing this mess. I'm not gonna drag this out more than necessary, but this trace going there is now connected to the pad. I soldered it in. It's really not easy to see, but you can hear. Okay, I think I made it. At least I have contact now between the vias and the pads. I secured it with some solder mask, the green stuff. It's still not cured, so I use a little bit of UV light for some minutes just to cure it. Doesn't look that nice, but yeah, I think this is a okay fix. Yes, that's hard now. So now I'm ready to solder in all the caps, and yeah, I just do that quickly. If anything strange happens, then I'll be back. Alright, so finished with small SMD capacitors. It went well. This one too. Yes, a little bit hard to solder in, but I made it. I'm soldering in the electrolyte, the big electrolytes, through hole ones. So that concludes the recapping. It didn't go as well as I hoped. This one here, I think these traces on these boards, they're very thin, and if you use a little bit too much heat, it's very easy to delaminate the pads. So that's what happened here. I think I used too much time, and then actually the pad came loose. Alright, let me see if it still works then. Yeah, something's blinking. Yes, it does. Yeah, it's stereo sound, alright. So the two difficult capacitors that are on the audio output, guess I got them right then. So the machine doesn't have a floppy disk drive, so I think I'm gonna install one because I wanna run floppy disks. I wanna run the diagnostics tool and stuff like that to be able to test this machine fully. I looked through my drives and I didn't really find one that fits this Amiga, so I hooked up the Gotek instead with a couple of disk images on, and yeah, this is the Amiga test kit. Yes, keyboard doesn't fit. Okay, so now we can test everything that's in here. Oops. Keyboard doesn't work. Now it works, at least somewhat. The F1 key doesn't work. Escape doesn't work. I don't know if this fault was here from before or something happened now. So that's not good. None of those key works. But there's quite a hefty fold on this ribbon cable that was from before. Might be a break in that keyboard cable. I actually try with another keyboard. I have another Amiga 600. I can try that. Yeah, let's try this one. This is Commodore Amiga 600 HD. By the way, I did try to clean off the ribbon cable, insert it again. Didn't help. It's a little bit different keyboard, another color on the ribbon cable. Yeah, let's see with this one. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we have an issue with the keyboard. Well, I'm gonna run through some more tests with this keyboard then. I suspect nothing is wrong here, but yeah, let's test all the memory. 10 megabytes takes a little while. Yes, seems to be no issues there. Yes, all tests passed on the CIA timer tests. the battery backed up clock, which is there, only that the date is wrong. Yeah, there's sound in all 4 channels. Not much to say here, everything seems to be working perfectly. I added an external floppy disk drive as well. It's this one, and I could access the floppy disk, so that works okay then. Yeah, so I guess this is 100% working. There's another thing I want to test on this, and that's a new game, in fact. And yeah, this is a game promotion that I got. So let's reset. I changed the floppy disk image. Yeah, look at that. It's almost Christmas. It's the 5th of December today, and this is a Christmas game that's not released yet. I think this is a promotion. Yes, and it's a Santatron 2024. Set up the volume to max. I have no idea what this game is. Let's just start. Get ready, Santa. All right. So I'm supposed to pick up toys or what? There's someone saying help there. Oh no. I guess I stay away from the bullets. Yeah, let's go out. Ah, that's another room. Oh, I can shoot. That's cool. Elf saved, yeah, okay. Oh no. Grottos cleared 0. Shots, hits. Elf saved. Okay, you can enter a code, record your score online. That's nice. Yeah, design and programming, John Gervin. Audio, DG Metune. Graphics, Tony Galvez. Audio mixer, Jerome Nuster. Music player, Frank Ville. Retro 32, Cafe Cup Arcade. You can use a CD32 controller. Let's see if we can do a better job now. That's kind of cool. What's those things? Yeah, I can pick them up. So I cleared that grotto. Yeah, the controls are very good. I mean, it's very fast, snappy, I mean, responsive. I'm not a game player anymore. Alright, so that's cool. Nice game promo, nice to see some new games coming still to the Amiga. Yes, I took the opportunity to copy some disk over from the Gotek disk images to real floppies, in case I need them. Who remembers Xcopy? So now I'm copying from the Gotek over to a real disk in drive 1. Alright, I think this video is coming to an end soon, but I was thinking about this guy here, the Sappo Smart Store Plus. I tried to Google it, but I couldn't really find much information. There's a couple of pictures of it, but not much. Obviously it's a hard drive expansion for the Amiga, for the PCIe slot, but it's very light, so it's no hard drive in it. But can it use a CF card, for example? Let's open it up. I took out the screws. Yeah, as expected, there's not much in it. Simply just IDE connector, I think. Some power supply. and there's a LED going there and a connector for external power, and obviously that's what this is for. You can power it from the Amiga if you want. So I was thinking about can you use a CFID adapter like this, but obviously it's not the same cable. It's this is the smaller variant, so you need an adapter. I don't think I have that. I could of course try and use a regular ID hard drive. I have one here, 130 megabytes. It's formatted for DOS, but yeah, we can try it. I don't think it's as simple as just connecting it and expect it to work. I think you at least need some drivers. What's pin 1 here? Let's try it. Hopefully the Amiga is able to power this drive. Well, at least it spins up. Noisy. Now it won't boot from the built-in hard drive, so something changed here. Let's go into the boot menu. Boot options. No, everything is disabled now except the F0 hard drive, and everything is gone. So I guess this needs something more. I'm not gonna research that now. As I said, I couldn't find much information online about this thing. Yeah, when I disconnected it, everything's back to normal. Okay, I'm not gonna use any more time on this. I just wanted to show you, but apparently it needs some more research, and I'm not really sure if I ever gonna use this, because there are way more better and more modern solutions than this that doesn't take this much space. So I guess this will be sitting in my shelf. I mean, it could be faulty also, I don't know. By the way, I forgot to mention, but this one and the Amiga 600 in this video, that was a donation from John from Bergen a while back. So I just want to say hello, John, and thanks a lot for, yeah, not only that donation, but several other donations. And if you have something you want to have shown in this channel, then just send me a message and I can arrange something. So back to the keyboard. I mean, it looks good, but what could be wrong? Is it this bend? Is it the end of the contact? I cleaned it off. Is it the break inside the keyboard membrane itself? I don't know. I don't have any more time left in this video to investigate that. Besides repairing such plastic membrane keyboards never really works. In my experience, if you try to solder it, it just melts and gets a mess. So I think that's gonna be in some other video. I might just order a completely new keyboard membrane also. We'll see about that. I'm back again, a last minute update. I'm well into editing this video, and today I got this, a new keyboard membrane. So let's quickly install it and see if it works. It's the 30th of December, so almost a new year here. So what could be better than to completely fix this Amiga before the new year? Yeah, that looks to be the right one. It says QWERTY A600 Blue. There's a little bend there, but I hope that's not an issue. Now, about the quality of this membrane, I can't say. Yeah, that should be quite simple. Just remove these screws, take out the membrane, and install the new one the correct way. It's a little bit work with all these screws. The keyboard, it just clips in like this. Quite a cheap solution, but yeah, it works. Just remove all these screws. It's not that many. If I remember correctly, you just lift it up and then take away the membrane. I could clean off all these, but everything looks very nice and clean, so I don't think I'll use any time on that. There's only one way you can put this, if you look at the cutouts. So it just goes straight in here, just align it. There's a couple of alignment pins as well, just push down that one and over here. Then back with the back cover. Try not to push the membrane away out of position. If you push down the back cover, you see those alignment pins come up. Then just get all the screws back. So that was it. Let's test. But first I'm going to take a look at this old membrane, see if I can see anything wrong here. I can't really see anything wrong. I can't see any broken traces, but it's kind of hard to measure. This is some semi-resistant material, some carbon material. So it's not, you actually need to measure the resistance, and I can't get a reading from the pads over to the contact. So yeah, I think it's just worn out, either these pads here or the contact itself here. That goes into there. Push it down firmly. Try not to bend it. Okay, let's test. Does it work any better? Oh yes. All the keys work. Well, I can't test the F keys and stuff, but when I press F key, I see the cursor flashing, stops a little bit, so yeah, very nice. Excellent. Alright then, that was it for this video. I had a little bit of fun with an Amiga 600. I replaced the capacitors, yeah, with 90% success, you might say, but the machine works great. So I hope you too had fun, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please hit that like or subscribe button for more videos. Yes, thanks for watching, and a special thanks to my members and my supporters at Patreon. See you, bye bye.